Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Afarmers Hot Breakfast Show with me, Masi Kemunto.
Joan Nyambura.
Thank you so much for tuning in this early morning. Yes, as always, we do wake you up. No, we don't wake you up, but I'm sure that some people actually just stop it there.
How is your morning?
My morning,
yes,
as always, smiley. People actually have started referring me to Smiley because I love smiling so much.
Yes, you do. Yes. It's actually a thing.
It's part of my outfit that I have to wear every single day. I just don't forget it in the house. Yes. Yes, it's part of my outfit. Okay. Yes, I have to wear it every single day. Yes. I have to make someone's day. Yes. And I have to keep smiling.
I think you need to tell me how you do it. Because I laugh. I usually laugh
a lot.
Maybe you'll never see me smiling like the way you smile, and I feel maybe jealous a bit. But anyway,
so just say she loves my smile. That's what she wants to say this morning.
But I'll never admit it. Why?
Why are you not going to admit it?
But anyway, you have a very beautiful smile.
Thank you.
And I really hope we can have as many smiles as you do. In this
she
country.
Wants me to cry this early morning.
Hey Lord.
You just stop it there. You just tell me when the camera is off. That's when you're going to tell me. I don't want to break down because despite the fact that I'm smiling a lot, I'm very, very emotional. I might start crying over here. So
please don't.
Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm glad that you've joined us this morning. This is the Afarmers Hot Breakfast Show. Hot must be there as always because of the vibe, the energy that's always in here. Yes. I'm sure you're wondering why it's hot. Just the vibes.
Yes.
The energy.
The coffee.
The weather in here is hot because of the energy now. Yes. You get it. Yes. If you don't get it, forget about it. Yes. So you can watch all of our previous show on our social media platforms. We are at Afarmers Media on Facebook.
We also have Africa Farmers Club on Facebook,
which you should join.
A very good platform.
Yes,
a very good platform.
Educative platform.
Yes, and for everyone actually.
Yeah, anyone can join.
Yes, especially if you are aspiring to get into the field of
farm.
Yes, farming or agriculture. Same thing. Potato.
Yes.
So basically,
teacher.
Yes. It's a very good platform. You get to meet with so many people, and you can talk about anything on agriculture, policies, livestock rearing, crops. Yes. We are also on Twitter at Afarmers with a Z _, the same with Instagram, and Afarmers Media on YouTube, where you can watch us live.
Right now, right now we are live.
Yes.
You can watch us right now. You can. Don't forget. I'll continue singing this song, and it's going to be like a sing song. Yes. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's important. As well, hit the notification bell.
Yes.
So that you can be notified once we go live or upload a new video.
Yes. You didn't miss a bit.
I didn't miss. I got it right.
Then we have Afarmers Media on LinkedIn, and we have the number.
Oh, we also have a call line that you can actually call us if you want to know more about Afarmers Media, or you have any questions, or if you need any kind of help.
Yes.
Help, but don't tell us to send you money. But we can. Sure, we can just write out unless you give us a very valid reason. Actually,
instead of money, we can connect you, because I feel like connection works way better
than just one-time help.
Yes,
it's important for you to actually join us.
Yes.
And that's why you can find us, and that's where you can find our videos. And today I want us to just dive into important matters, and that's our today's topic.
Before you get there, let me remind you, we didn't give the viewers the number. That is 07.
That's 0700 293031.
Yes.
Let me repeat that again. 0700 293031.
Diana, you're doing something right.
Yes, this is our number that you can call us and actually reach us. That's number that you can find us, and if you need to visit us, we are open from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m. in the evening.
Yes.
Just stick around for the Shajara Mkulima show. I'm sure you're curious why I'm getting to know all this Swahili. It's simple. Just join Diana awashtue hapa na Kiswahili sanifu. On Shajara ya Mkulima as from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. As well, you can join Brian Mwenda for the Farm Drive show from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. in the evening. Yes. On to important matters and on to today's topic. Today we want to talk about women in agriculture. As in agriculture, the aspiring farmer and the professional farmer in agriculture.
Yes.
But now today we want to look at it from a different aspect. That's the ancient woman in agriculture and the modern woman in agriculture. What's the difference? What are the improvements that we've seen? And what are some of the things that are still intact that have not yet changed? Help us. If you're a woman out there who's in this field of agriculture in any way, even if you've invested, even if you go to the farm, even if you just help give out finances, or even if you're just in the logistics, because there's no a man job and a woman job. Every job is for everyone. So if you're just in this field, just tell us how is it and what are some of the challenges that you're facing
in your whole experience. You can actually have a very easy time and someone else is having a very hard time, and maybe through experiences we can know how to help each other in the field.
Yes, and it's very important. So our question today that goes out there is, what is the difference between an ancient woman and a modern woman in the field of agriculture? By that I mean mwanamke ambaye alikuwa anafanya ukulima pale zamani na hivi sasa. I'm trying to translate, and then Dana has motivated me in a way that Kiswahili is the best language. So if you're not getting it, that's the Kiswahili translation. So what's the difference between an ancient woman and a modern woman in the field of agriculture?
Yes.
And it's very, very important. And today we basically celebrating women. Even if you're a man and if you tune into the show, just stick around, because you might be having someone in mind that when right now when I tell you sister, they're when I just mention the word sister, there's someone that comes in mind. Just the same way, I'm sure there's someone who's tuned in and is a man, just a male. So if you just mention the word woman, there's that image that comes in your mind. Maybe your mother, your sister, your wife, your girlfriend, anyone, your daughter that comes in mind who is in this field. You can actually help us in celebrating them today, and it's very, very important. Thank you. I don't know why today I'm this much excited, but just stick around, you will know, because this topic actually excites me. The fact that we are actually celebrating women, celebrating this group in the society, which at one point in life it was like seen as a minor group. They were somehow seen as minors, like they are not that important to the society. But good news is these days it's totally different, because of those people who have put in their effort, their money, their time to actually ensuring that there's gender equality in the society.
Yes, and as we celebrate the woman who is here today and who was there before, we also should celebrate the men who took part in changing,
modeling these women.
Yes, in changing the whole aspect of how women were treated earlier and how they are treated right now. Yes. So as we celebrate the whole aspect of women in agriculture, we also celebrate the men who took part in making women grow in agriculture. Yes,
and it's very, very important. So you can actually help us celebrate, and if you're part of the person that contributed in a certain percentage to modeling someone to becoming that great person in the society, we actually also do celebrate you so much, and we also do love you. As I always say that we do love you a lot. Yes.
Another thing is, if you have that woman in the field of agriculture who has inspired so many people, who has have made that actually big milestone in helping the women in agriculture, please make a mention.
tag them or text us them. We're going to celebrate them.
Yes, we are going to celebrate them.
Yes, at the end of the show, Joan, you will tell us the woman you are celebrating. But if it's not Woman Day, every single day we should appreciate people. Yes. At the end of the day, you will tell us and I'll also say the woman that I am celebrating.
Yes.
We all have women in our life in one way or another. Just come in contact with them in some specific ways that maybe we don't understand, but you understand them. So help us celebrate them by tagging them or actually texting us their names, and we'll give them a shout out today.
Yes.
So basically, ancient, modern, these are two different things. But generally, when we just start looking at ancient agriculture and modern agriculture, it's totally different. There are some improvements that have been done. There's some things that have been changed, that have gradually been changing with the years until we've reached now. And before actually we go there, I want to tell you a story of I saw a lady the other day. Yes. And this lady was actually driving a lorry that was carrying, I don't know what I think it was vegetables. I didn't get a clear picture of what it is, but I think it was some vegetables or nyanya, because the way they were packaged, you couldn't see clearly what it is. And I'm sure they were being taken to the market. So you see, women are involved even in every aspect of agriculture. Not just going into the farm and just farming. They're involved in every aspect of agriculture.
Yes.
And I felt like almost just telling her to stop and tell her, you know what, I do celebrate you and appreciate you for what you're doing, because that just takes a strong woman to actually gain the strength to do that.
Yes.
Despite the fact that there has been changes in the field of agriculture, and even this issue of gender equality, it has not stopped kabisa. There's some people who are still doing it and feel like, no, a man is superior, then a woman is inferior, of which it's not actually really important to do that, and it's not nice actually to do that.
Yes.
So we want to look at some of the challenges before we actually get to define the ancient and the modern woman and their differences. But I think challenges should come last, and we just look at the differences of just agriculture generally. In the ancient and now, what are some of the improvements? This way it's going to make easier for us to actually note how the ancient woman worked and how the modern woman is working. Yes, and one thing I think is that has actually changed is using of synthetic fertilizer. Initially, there were no fertilizer that were being used. There were fertilizers, but they were homemade. Let's say now this was the use of manure. This was, I think, their fertilizer then.
That is, I also agree with you, because before the use of machines to actually make what we have right now, people used to use the manure from livestock. If you are rearing livestock, you use the manure.
Yes, and you just take the manure even from where the animals sleep, and you take it to the farm, and that's how people actually used to work.
Yes, and now the issue of certain crops, when they decay, it was used as manure. So we had two aspects, maybe, what I've researched on, because Lord,
this is what you've done. This is what you professionally just channeled yourself in setting to do it, and this is what you've done perfectly. When I understand it, actually, you should now explain to us.
So basically, there was that aspect of getting manure from livestock, and also the aspect of decay, where they would maybe the residues of crops, maybe there's the issue of bananas. There's a time on Farm Drive we talked about the value addition for bananas, and there was the aspect of fertilizer, but then they used to call it manure. So basically, when you have the residues of plants in different crops, you let them decay, and then use it
as manure.
Yes,
actually, and I think there's also this form of whereby you just dig a pit and you put all these things.
It's called compost.
Decomposing the materials. Yes, just put them in one hole and wait for them. And actually, people used to do it perfectly well, and they come out with very great manure, because back then, even the mbogas and everything, they were just like on another level. That's like now that they're bad, but
the nutrient content was very high then.
Well, it was very high. And
Yes.
then I think we started affecting our soil when we started using synthetic fertilizer, because now it goes into the soil. Actually, some farmers do apply more, but before you learn how to do it, you might find yourself using more on the farm.
Yes, and that affects.
And that affects the farm itself, yes. And I think now with time, that's why we actually managed to move into synthetic fertilizer, because now this one was not working perfectly well. That's why we had to use an improved version of these manures and these decomposing materials.
Actually, I don't think it was not working perfectly well. There were some different reasons, and I think one of them was scarcity. Like
now
the population, yes, now the population grew, and the access to manure became a bit short, and now maybe now they came up with ways of making other ways of making fertilizers and making them in large scale, where the growing population farming would actually have access to improve their soils, because then before the soil fertility was very good. And now when you plant and not actually get to return the nutrients back to the soil, the fertility goes down and the nutrients are gone.
Yes.
So what will your plants use?
Nothing. So you
cannot access manure. It's very hard to access manure. So basically fertilizer, yes.
Fertilizer was the only option. Another thing why farmers started using this form of synthetic fertilizer is because of now there was increase in population, which means the food being produced should be more. And you can't tell me you're going to use manure in 10 acres of land or 30 acres of land. So you have to find something that's cheaper, easy to find, and easy to apply on your farm. Because even if you have many cows, you can't produce manure for 30 acres of land probably after every 3 weeks.
Yes.
And now with the increase of all this, now we had pests and diseases for the plants. Now we had to use pesticides and chemicals in the farm and all that. Talking of pesticides, there's a campaign that is being led by the Markup and UNIDO Kenya.
Yes.
It's emphasizes farmers on the safe use of pesticides. I'm sorry we drifted away from the topic, but now that's how you're going to understand it better. We're talking about pesticides, and I remember that there's actually a campaign that's still ongoing that's being led by Markup and UNIDO on the safe use of pesticides. And when we talk of safe use of pesticides, safety revolves around you as a farmer, and safety also in your crops, and also safety in the consumer that's going to consume the produce that you're producing from the farm. And it's important that you ensure that you use the exact amount of fertilizers in your farm.
Actually, it's also you can use the
correct amount of fertilizer. Yes, but for now we're saying about pesticides. Use the correct amount of pesticides on your plant. Get to know which disease you're actually dealing with before going to your agrovet, so that when explaining to them what your plant is suffering from will be a little bit easier. And ask them for calibrated containers. This is used for measuring. This is where you're going to get the correct amount, because right now if I tell you go and use 30 ml of this, how do you do it? You don't have a measuring tin.
Right now
I just give you maybe
I'll estimate.
You just look.
I'll estimate.
Now this is enough.
Which is not correct. Yes.
Of which is not the right thing to do, because there's a specific amount that goes with a specific size of your farm, and it's important if you actually do measure it before using it, and use just the correct amount. Do not use more, do not use less. More affects the plant, even affect who is going to consume that particular plant. Less may not be able to kill all the pesticides in your farm. Just use the amount that is there. And also one most important thing is, don't forget to read the instructions that are there in that particular pesticide that you've purchased. It's important to read the instructions that are there, because I'm sure each and every single pesticide that you actually buy has lined instruction how to use it, and also lined the effects, and also written if in case of anything, who should you call or what should you do. Of which it's important. These are some of the things that you look before purchasing that particular pesticide, and it's important. So this this information is brought to you by Afarmers Media, courtesy of Markup.
Yes.
Markup and Unido
Unido.
Kenya. And
Yes.
please take care of yourself while applying these. Just use the protective gears, wear gloves, wear gumboots, wash your hands thoroughly, ensure you put a watering point outside your storage room, store them correctly. It's broad, but these are some of the things that we're just highlighting. And also the most important thing, just take care of yourself. Just don't assume things and like
Exactly. That is an issue we are having with farmers.
Just
They don't
assumptions,
use.
they work with assumptions.
Yes, they don't use even the protective.
Yes, they're like, you know
Yes.
what, we got this.
Yes, you don't.
You don't got this.
You don't got
You
this.
don't got this.
My friend. You don't got this.
Because
Please.
you know some pesticides actually might think that they're safe and you can handle them with your hands, and they actually even end up burning your hand.
Yes.
Or even the scent of it even actually affect even your breathing, and you
Yes.
might not know. So
Yes.
it's very, very much important, because we need you every single morning, every single day. We just need here to hear your story. So please take care of yourself. It's very important.
It's very important.
Yes, going back to the topic, and another difference or another thing that's occurred in the years is the technology. As now,
Yes.
technology is really broad.
Yes.
I think we should discuss about the technology one of the fine days. Technology is the broadest that you can have. You know why? Because now technology is everything right now. From storage, from harvesting, from planting, from plowing your land. It's actually the broadest that you can talk about, and it's so big.
Yes. Technology was there. It's only now that it is more improved. Yes.
Technology, even in matters of irrigation, it was there before.
Yes. If you remember, if you did, it was part of history. You remember the first people to practice agriculture.
It was in Mesopotamia.
Yes.
Oh God. Hey, my history high school teacher should hear this. If I can actually remember it. The first, yes,
Who
it
was
was
your
in
teacher?
Mesopotamia. My history teacher was called Mrs. Njagi.
Shout out to you.
Yes, because I can actually remember, yes, and the different types of irrigation that they
Yes,
used.
basically, yes. What we are talking about has been there. Mostly when you are talking about anything in agriculture has been there. It's
Just
only
that
that.
it's improved.
Yes.
Even
yes.
plowing methods. It was
Yes.
there, but now it's improved.
It's improved. The same thing with as you were saying, fertilizers. The actual science was it. Now
It
it's
was
only
there.
that
That
it has been improved. Yes.
Yes, now that's where the difference comes in.
Yes, we have better resources, we have better understanding, and people have evolved in terms of mindset when it comes to improving the agricultural sector. Yes.
And everything, actually, basically, now technology was there. That's why here we do tell you that to embrace smart farming. Now
Yes.
this is the agricultural technologies that have been found or have been maybe people have come up with. But initially, trust me, it was there. Technology was there. Because
Yes.
as I can remember, there was actually even plowing. It was also there. But not so many tractors now.
But they used
it's
oxens,
almost the same.
yes.
Yeah, they use oxes with that type of plow that they used to pull.
Yes.
But now it's the tractor that has the plow. So
Yes.
this is the difference.
Yes.
Because maybe kitambo kabisa they didn't have cars. They did have, but I don't think they're not as improved as now. So
Hey,
that's
my friend, if you had a car then, they were cats. If you had cats then, hey, man.
yeah, kitambo there were cats. So if you had a cat, then you were like considered now there.
Yes.
You are
yes.
there.
So imagine
You
not
get
many people will actually access it, and especially to go to the farm because they were used for transport.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Especially now going to the farm, that will have been an issue. But then, yes, there was technology.
Yeah, there was technology, and now it's just the most important thing is that technology was there, just that it is improved.
Yes.
Now that's where the difference comes in. It was there, the difference comes in when it is improved. Where we also have now, I'm laughing because of the thing that I'm going to say.
Yes.
These
I
days,
know it's
people
something
actually
you
do
love.
more practice oftenly soil testing.
Yes.
It wasn't done before. Maybe there were no laboratories, or maybe soil was not affected as it is now. You know, now with the soil erosion, with pollution and everything, the soil is really affected. Even the type of rain that sometimes it rains in some areas can actually affect the rain.
Yes.
That's one thing I came to realize. We can assume that rain, we want rain, but there's rain that's maybe in industrial areas with all these climatic changes that can actually have effect on your soil. That's why it's important.
Even the water they remove, the waste.
The waste that they remove, yes.
Might affect your soil.
May actually affect your soil. That's why Kitambo there was no soil testing, but now it's there to find out more about your soil. And you know the soil has been used so many times, so it has to be tested to see if it still has the strength. Unajua kama umefanya kitu sana una feeling kama
Yeah,
I am just tired.
You're
So
tired.
the soil is just tested to see if it still has the strength to withhold the plant and provide the plant with enough nutrients.
Nutrients, yes.
Yes, and also
food.
be able to gain the structure of the rooting system of the plant and get it just right.
Yes.
Any other difference, John, that you think that might be there in the modern and the ancient form of farming?
I think most of them
The most important.
most of them can be merged when you talk about technology, because now we are talking about using tractors, using better irrigation, having
storage.
yes, having
Doing validation.
greenhouses.
Validation was done,
Yes.
yes, but now it's quite improved.
Yes, talking about greenhouses. By the way, a long time ago they didn't have greenhouses. That's another one.
That's another.
Yes,
Yes, Kitambo
that
there
is
was no
greenhouses.
greenhouses. That's a new form of technology that has just happened now.
Yes, and the form of irrigation then was a tedious one, where you had to dig furrows.
You dig furrows,
Yes.
and also there was this other method of just accumulating water. You dig sort of back canals. Was it canals?
Yes, canals.
Canals, yes, and you just accumulate water there that you're going to now to pour into your farm, and it was
Yes.
done manually.
Yes.
Remember that? Now that's very tiresome. That's another difference that was there in the modern. The differences between the modern and the ancient form of agriculture
Also, when it comes to the tools,
that were used.
yes, now we have better and improved tools, and even the information,
Equipment,
yes.
even information right now,
Yes.
it's very adequate and it's there.
It's there for
abundant.
everyone.
Yes, it's there for everyone.
The fact that
everyone
it's
can
there
actually
for
get
everyone.
it.
Yes.
No, the most important thing is that it's there for even if wherever you are right now, the information is just available. It's just you just taking that step and getting the information because it's available.
Another major thing that we didn't even talk about is the internet.
Yes, and also the internet.
Yes.
The internet is very important actually.
Right now, you can actually watch someone in another country farming.
And get to learn the skills and the
Yes.
challenges and
Yes.
how they do it to just get the best yields. So with the improvement of internet, even a farmer can just find if it's a disease, it's easy to get to understand what type of disease am I dealing with just by Googling on the internet, saying that, or you take a picture, just Google my plant look like ABCD, what might be the problem, you get all those problems and you get to understand the solution. Instead of even waiting for maybe your produce to haribike and you say, next season I'll figure out what the problem was.
Yes.
So that's the good thing with the internet that has been there right now.
And I appreciate because I saw we have viewers from all over Africa. Yes. So basically, if we didn't have the internet, we will not access this information.
Because now it's in a very different country,
Yes.
so it's very hard to access it. Yes.
So, okay, the passing of information was there a long time ago, but then the easiness and the accessibility of it,
of the information now,
yeah,
that's where
and the space that is covering, it's large and it's easy, and the time management,
it's very perfect.
Yes.
So this is the Hot Breakfast Show, and we're actually discussing about the ancient and the modern woman, and we're just highlighting on some of the differences between an ancient form of agriculture and a modern form of agriculture. And we've mentioned just but a few. We've said about the use of synthetic fertilizers, use of improved technology, that's in matters of irrigation, storage, plowing, harvesting. It's broad when you talk about technology. And we've also actually discussed about chemical pest control. We've talked about soil testing. We've talked about the internet, the greenhouses as being here. These are some of the things that make modern form of farming, of modern agriculture, outstand the rest. Even when we actually stretch out even in the field of livestock keeping and rearing. Kitambo, I don't think there were fish ponds. Just you go and get fish from the lake. Maybe the people didn't know how to build it and manage fish so that they don't die. But these days you see it is It's
Yes,
a form of
they used to
agriculture.
go to the rivers, the lakes, the seas.
Just fish and that's
Yes,
it.
yes.
Yes. Livestock rearing, even when kukamua ng'ombe siku hizi, the technology that helps in that. So it's broad when you talk about technology, and it's very big that you can't actually able to just do it all of it today and maximize on it today, but you need to set a special day aside on talking about the new technology in agriculture, how is that it has impacted the lives of farmers, how it has helped them, or how it has even been just pain to them. Yes, so that's we're setting a special day for that. Want to take a very short break. When we come back, want to look on some of the challenges that women were facing and are facing in this field of agriculture by just trying to highlight the most important ones. And also, don't forget, this is the Farmers Hot Breakfast Show with me, Masike Munto.
Joan Nyambura.
Don't forget to join us via Facebook, our Facebook pages. Comment, tell us what you think, and tell us who you're celebrating today as we celebrate women, despite it not being out. Don't take me wrong, it's not Women's Day. There's the fact that we're just talking about ancient and modern women in the field of agriculture, and we have to celebrate them every single day because they deserve it. They just go an extra mile, they overstretch in doing some of the things. And when we get back, we're going to read some of your comments on who you want to celebrate, and also what do you think the differences between ancient and modern type of agriculture is. We're going to take a short commercial break. We'll be back shortly.
Agriculture is the art and science of cultivating the soil, growing crops, and raising livestock. Agriculture provides most of the world's food and fabrics. It is not only a source of food and income, but also creates employment opportunities for many people in the world. Over 1 billion people worldwide work in agriculture, generating 2.4 trillion for the global economy. The global impact of farming on the environment is revealed that 40% of the Earth's land is now given over to agriculture. Agricultural development is one of the most powerful tools to end extreme poverty, boost shared prosperity, and feed a projected 9.7 billion people by 2050. And we, the Afarmers Media, roll the carpet for you as we welcome you to our thrilling farm visits to different farmers that educate and inspire you in different sectors in agriculture. Catch us also on our shows on all our social media platforms as we bring you educative and informative information that will help you learn and guide you on your agriculture journey to success. Our farmers attain knowledge and grow profits.
Melon is a trailing vine in the gourd family. The word melon can refer to either the plant or specifically to the fruit. Watermelon is a type of melon that is sweet and refreshing fruit. Watermelons can either be grown on home gardens for small-scale farmers or large-scale depending on the market demand. You can either transplant or plant watermelon seeds directly. For best performance, plant watermelons in hot, sunny locations with loose, fertile, well-drained soil that is rich in organic matter. It is best to plant watermelons on raised rows and ensure that the soil pH is between 6.0 to 6.8. On average, it takes around 3 months for a watermelon to grow from seed to mature fruit, with smaller varieties having shorter growing times than larger varieties of watermelon. Watermelon growing, if done rationally and on a scalable basis, can be a good source of income.
Welcome back to the second segment of this show, and we're glad that you've joined us. And you can see the energy today is just on fire because we're discussing about women, the most important people in this society. Everyone is important, yes, but also they are very, very important. Very is in caps.
Mercy, I told you, if you get a chance to shine, my
shine.
friend, shine. If you're going to shine with a woman, shine with a woman because you are one. So shine, my friend, shine.
I'm going to
if
shine.
It was a man
Right
here, they will also take the opportunity to shine.
To shine, yes.
So shine.
So you're shining, yes. Even if you're a man out there, also you do shine.
Shine.
It's important. Don't forget us to send your comments. And there's one very loyal viewer who sometimes actually tells me, you know what, today you joined the show and you are not there. What happened?
Okay.
Have you ever received that? And we're like, today you were a little bit, I joined the show at 7 and you guys came in late. What happened? So I think being the day of celebrating women because she's a woman. Everyone's a woman. Yes, going to celebrate her. She's a young person. She's called Lacris McKenna. She's so concerned about this show, and she's like, you know what, did I join the show and I was the first person to join, and I liked your video, and this happened and that happened, and we actually do celebrate you today. So shout out to Lacris McKenna this morning. She's a very important viewer to us, and we celebrate you. Yes,
you've said
Lacris. Yes.
Nisi haribu.
Don't ban. Don't, please. Joan, don't embarrass me this morning because of this energy. Don't embarrass me.
Nisi chome.
Yes.
But shout out to you. Thank you for viewing us. Thank you for being a fan of Mercy. Yes, we appreciate.
Yes, we do really appreciate, and we do love you. Yes, going back to the show.
Wait, you don't want me to say my fan?
Oh, you've not told me that you have your fan that always tunes in.
What are you saying?
Okay,
but,
sorry.
Basically, she's not my fan, but she's a fan of the breakfast show. I think she's one of the first people to like on Twitter, and I really appreciate her. She's Wafula Nekesa. I think you know her.
Yes, she's from Cropnuts.
Cropnuts, yes. She's very aggressive when it comes to Twitter, and she's always on our neck. Like, what are you guys posting today? I have liked, I have tweet. Yes, shout out to you, Nekesa. Yes, she's a very nice lady, and she challenged me. Do you know she drives a 4-wheel double cabin?
Sorry.
Yeah, my friend. So when we are celebrating women, I celebrate you too, Nekesa.
Yes, and you actually
nice work.
Yes, so Nekesa, you do motivate someone over here. We won't mention her name, but just over here, and that's a very big step. When you actually think that someone is actually looking up to you, and there's someone out there who is actually like, you know what, I want to be like person X. That's very important. So Nekesa, this morning we also do celebrate you and appreciate you. We also do love you a lot. Yes, thank you for always being there, being on our necks, ensuring that we post, that the show goes live.
Yes.
And we're glad for actually that. Yes. I'm sorry, John, that I didn't give you the opportunity, but you didn't tell me that you have a loyal viewer, and I also did that, so I apologize for that.
It's someone you know.
And it's someone I actually know. Yeah. Okay, so going back to the show, we're discussing about ancient and modern woman in the field of agriculture, and we had outlined some of the differences between ancient and modern form of agriculture before we actually dive into the topic now, basically understanding what did the women in the past do different from now, what are the challenges that women faced in the past, and they have been solved somehow in one way or another. And before we go and look at some of the challenges of women now in the field of agriculture generally, both ancient and modern, some of the similarities of all this is that I think there's some of the things that were done in the past, in the ancient time now, that are not done now, and I think they should be taken up. Somehow people have forgotten about it. And Joanne, what do you think I want to say?
Not I think. I know what you want to say. So
say it out.
Basically, it was the ancient types of water conservation. Yes, for irrigation, basically, because that is our main issue as farmers. When we're talking about the Egypt form of irrigation. Yes. We talked about canals and how they used to divert
water, maybe sources, just they channel water to specific places where maybe they've dug a water conservation point. It was dug. They were not using like tins or something. It was dug, so in form of a bucket, these canals and everything.
There's the whole science of it that people really need to adapt now. Because as we saw, we had a very long period of no rainfall, and people were crying all over, like we need water to plant our crops, and we need water for our livestock. So basically, if we adopt that whole thing in a new and improved way, because yes, we have dams, but not many farmers actually can access
those dams.
Yes. Okay. Also, we have tanks that we have used to reserve water, but then that water is not enough. And there's so much rainfall that goes to waste because we have not constructed ways of actually raising water in our or actually returning water to the what is it called? It's running away from me.
Inapotea. What you want to say?
Inapotea. Basically what I'm trying to say, kuna a certain water table yenye inakuanga kwa soil, and we do not return the water there. After it rains and then drought comes, there's no way of
returning the water,
yes,
getting the water back.
Yes, and maybe getting reservoirs to get water. So basically, if farmers, it used to work long time ago because it was a communal thing. Land was communal, and people used to get to work as a community. But then we're in the era of capitalism, which okay, let me say I do not really approve of it, but then it's what we have. But we can also work around it because Mercy, if you're neighbors, you have your own tank, and I have my own tank. Tuko kule kwa shamba, si ndio? Maybe you have your 1 acre, I have maybe my 2 acres, but building a reservoir will actually eat my whole land. Yes, but if we
come up
yes,
together as Joanne, Mercy, person X, person Y, to building a reservoir together.
Yes, at a common place. Then the water that we are harvesting from our rooftops. See, tank yako imeja.
Yes.
My let's say my 5 tanks zimeja.
Zimeja at your
yes.
homestead, yes.
So hiyo maji yenye inakuja hapo ni overflow. So what we can do is we can actually dig other canals where that water is directed to the reservoir. And when the reservoir has water, maybe during now
the
drought, we can actually access
the water. Yes.
If we are not actually going to access most of the water, then it goes to the water table and then it diverts. So basically our soil will have a better moisture content by the end of the day. So that is something I think that we should adapt, because also building dams, you actually need land, very big land for it.
For us to be able to build dam. But you know, for this type of reservoirs that are just dug, you can actually, for maybe if you really need to get clean water, I saw someone, you just put like a polythene paper down on it, then now the water comes, then you cover it.
Yes.
Just to get clean. It may not be as clean as it's supposed to be, but I think water conservation is done, yes, but only a small percentage of
very small percentage
do conserve water.
Especially if you have very big farms, like you have your let's say 3 hectares or of land, you have enough space for you to actually get a reservoir for yourself. And maybe by having that reservoir, you are helping other farmers around you. You will actually help other farmers because if you have enough water. And these farmers, ujue pollination, the process of pollination, bees goes to other farmers, gets the pollen,
and brings to your farm.
Yes.
Just then they cross-pollinate.
And that is a science.
Remember my science, yes.
That is a science that most farmers do not understand.
So they were like, I can do this. And that's why you get in the past, people actually really used to do quite good.
Yes.
Because of the communal land ownership.
Yes.
It wasn't my land, it was our land.
Yes.
So we conserve it as ours. Everyone has a responsibility, everyone has a role to play, and when we all come together, trust me, things work out better when I do things alone. Instead of me digging my own reservoir, we do it together. And at the end of the day, this water does not only benefit me, it benefits you, it benefits the other person who actually contributed in, or even it can actually benefit even a person who was not in there initially.
Yes. And it's something Mr. Noah talked about here, where mimi nitatumia a certain fertilizer, alafu nitatoa label ili usijue. But then,
and I ask you what fertilizer is that, and you're like, Aki, I can't remember. I said, nakutafutia receipt, alafu I will let you know. And that let you know becomes let you know for ages.
For ages.
Yes.
And it may never even happen.
It may not even happen.
Nakuuliza Mercy, kwani ulitumia which seeds?
Aki, I'm sorry.
Nilitumia zenye nilikuwa nimepanda last time nizo nimerudisha. And that is not what you did.
And that's not true. That's why I think, that's why I'm actually saying that kitambo, the communal ownership of land used to work best than right now.
Yes,
like
that is
things
true.
used to work out very much better because it was a we responsibility than a me responsibility.
Yes.
Of which either way, one mind, two minds, these are two different things. When two minds come together, things are the outcome is much better than just one person. Just
Yes.
just go on.
I really would like farmers to understand the point of the pollination process. If your crops, maybe your maize, is the wrong quality and the lowest variety, the bees will go to your farm. As you do nini difference ya farm yako na yangu, they do not know. They are going to bring that pollen to my farm where I have the high variety and all that.
Yes.
So basically kutakuwa na hiyo crossbreeding or something. So mimi niki expect my crops to do very well. Kutakuwa na a certain percentage yenye itakuwa chini. Why? Because your variety, it's not as good. So basically when you go planting as farmers, make sure your neighbor akona a very good variety.
Then
the cats and the cows and the dogs, when they go to the neighbor, they interbreed and then that breed comes back to you. That is the same thing.
it happens.
Yes. So make sure when you're planting something, when you're planting your crops, make sure that your neighbor is doing also well.
Better.
Yes, because it's going to affect you.
In one way or another, yes. It will affect
Atakama
you.
maybe the cross pollination and all might not affect as much, but then if your neighbor does not have food,
Who does the person come to?
you.
Of course, and you have to help your neighbor.
In case the suppliers need more of your products and you don't have, and
Would
you do not want to lose,
and you don't want to lose maybe
the supplier. Yes, you need to go to who?
Someone who's closer
Yes.
to you, and you're
And
like,
who
you know
is
what?
that?
There's some goods. Can you sell them to me? You can actually even buy from them,
Yes.
then sell them out. Then actually even going to look for a different person, because this different person can even actually decide the next season to produce better, way
Yes.
better than you, and still away you're where you do supply your crops to, and it's important.
Yes, it's very important. So basically that is something that we need to adopt.
Yes, and
It's
just
very important.
to help your neighbor, and it's actually really important. You want to also look at some of the challenges that women are facing now in this field of agriculture, just generally, ancient, modern, generally, what they used to face and what has actually changed right now. And one of it, I'll say, is the ownership of land.
Yes.
This is not a similarity, these are different, because in the ancient world it was like really difficult. I don't think if it was possible, it was difficult to find a woman owning land. It was difficult because you know what? Even if your husband actually dies, you marry the brother. Or even if you don't marry the brother, your 8-year-old son is given land.
Yes.
And you're left, sasa sababu umempoteza mume, shamba yako itaenda kwa mtoto wako.
So shamba lako, my friend?
No, not shamba. Oh,
so shamba lako.
The father left this land to the son.
Yes.
Not even the daughters.
The son.
We actually grew up thinking that, you know what, me as a woman, I cannot be able to own land because it's not part of our culture. But now, these days in the modern world, it's very different. Even if a woman does not get land from their parents, does not get land from their husband, you actually buy the land yourself.
Yes.
And you start your own farming. And that's why we're saying that things are a little bit different right now.
Yes.
Because, I can own land. Initially, kitambo, I couldn't own land. It was even going against the taboo. You're owning land as who? And why are you owning land? That was it. That was how actually it used to happen. You're owning land as who? And why are you owning land? At the end of the day, women were perceived as beings that cannot own land, and it was just there. There's no explanation to that. You could not own land, and that's for a fact. That's period.
Yes, that was it. With the ownership of land. Actually, women they used to farm. They used to farm on the lands, but it was not your land.
It was not even your land.
It was
and
not your land.
Relating to land, another thing is access to finances.
Yes.
Now this is modern because finances is now. Even kitambo, whatever you used to produce, you had to ask permission from your husband before you sell it out.
Imagine, Mercy, you go to that land
and it's just
you tell that land, you grow those crops, and then you have to ask someone, baba nani, si I get
nimepanda,
nimeharvest, si tuuze
ama uuze,
ama my husband, please sell the nini, they are ready. Yes.
Yeah, I must tell the crops they're ready now.
No, imagine that.
Out. Doesn't fair at all, I think. It's happening even currently, but I think, and there's something that we learned, that if women want to be given the same power of land ownership, in that if right now my father is going to distribute land, he's going to distribute equally to all his children. If that was supposed to be to happen, trust me, come we will be able to solve 30% of hunger.
Yes.
In the world.
Yes.
30%.
I totally agree.
You can imagine
that
percentage.
Yes, I totally agree with
now,
that.
This is just not even giving them finances. They just the resource, the land itself, just land.
Yes.
So land itself owns 30%. So you can imagine the impact at which women will bring to the society, to the community, to the nation, or even to the world. And another thing is now access to education and training. Maybe you don't have the time. Kitambo, maybe there was no education, or people who are only allowed to go to all this training were men.
Basically, that is the issue. That was the issue.
Men were the only people who were allowed to go for all this
and
training.
They're not going to the land.
They don't go to the land. They're like, mama nani, kesho mtapanda mahindi.
Yes.
And you find
and you know you don't have resources.
And women don't give up.
And you know you don't have resources that you'll say mimi niko na pesa, I'll buy the seeds for this and this. Niko na pesa, I'll buy the fertilizer for this.
And that's why you get, even from Kitambo, Chama, who owns Chama mostly?
Right now.
Like who are people who participate in Chama?
Women.
And those merry-go-round.
Women.
Because they support each other. They are like, they know how to even to save even if the little amount they get. Even if you go ask your mom right now, you can find her even in 10 different chamas. She saves here. They acquires money from there because they fear debts. They return, they save here, and it's very really important. And you see, if this is actually what they can do, what if they just given the whole power? And not like men do not get the power, but just equal powers. Like whatever men are getting, that's the same that happens with women. It will be a very different type of society and community that we'll be having, a very different world that we'll be living in. And another thing that some of the challenges that women are facing is employment in the field. You ask me a question. Right now, if you were to employ someone in the farm, it's a very honest question.
It's a very honest question.
If you're going to employ someone kukulimia shamba, who will you choose?
Kunilimia shamba, the first person, the
that
first option
in your mind.
The first option is the men.
The men, because you think, this is a mentality that you think that men, they're strong.
Actually,
so they can be able to like plow faster, not get tired, or they don't have many engagements to do. And you actually, I was surprised that women can actually go to the farm, yes. And when they go to the farm, it's that they go with their children on the back.
Yes.
You can imagine how strong they are.
Yes.
Wanabana na mizigo zao, mtu anabeba mtoto wake kwa mgongo, anaenda shambani.
Ama anaenda mahali anatafuta
pali shade, anatanikia mtoto pale na yolala.
Like after 4 hours ama 3 hours, she's supposed to breastfeed the child.
So
amekaa chini.
She has not
women
out here, they just overstretch. They do really overstretch. And that's why we should be celebrating them each and every single day. I think it's very important.
We should.
Yes. And another challenge that women are actually facing in this field of agriculture is in making decision, even in land ownership, even in the family. Kama tumevuna, you can't sell things without the permission of your husband. You can't do this, and it's really important if women want to be included in the making of decisions. It's actually
it's the same thing. As you said, but the situation is still there. The situation of the land is now owned by the husband. Actually, not many women own land. Not many women actually own that big land for farming. Yes, atakuwa na kaplot kake place amejenga her house or something, but not the big lands
where they have, yes,
where you can actually practice commercial farming, agriculture type of farming. So part of the issue is there because mostly now the men are still owning the bigger part of land. Yes. So
they get land naturally. They don't have to buy.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, if you're a father, you have to set land aside for your son. But it's very rare you find, because the times are changing now, people have started actually adopting it. But it's like 1% out of 100 of people actually saying, you know what, now I own 10 acres of land, and I have 3 children, so 5 acres to my son, 5 acres to my daughter.
I actually understand why they used to give land to the sons only, because when you get married,
you go to your husband.
So
there's no person who's going to take this land. Why can't my husband come to my land? Just a question.
Yeah, basically, right now it can happen, but it was a way of having order. It was a way of having order then.
Even be seen as an outcast in the community.
Yes. And actually, women who actually acquired land then, they were feared. Did you, which state book did you read in high school?
The River and the Source.
Exactly. I read that book too. And you remember Akoko?
Akoko, yes. She was like feared in
the community. Yes. Yeah. Because she acquired the
piece of land from her father.
Yes, and she handled what the husband had. You remember?
Yes.
Before she was sent away, she handled that property, the whole property for the sons before they grew up, and basically that was also the issue in the ancient times. But right now it's a bit different because now if you only have daughters,
just give them.
You will give them. Not just give them. They are being given land.
They're being given land.
Yes, in equal proportions.
And it's good for us women for us to gain the trust. It's good even if you're going to get married and you've given land, just put that land into use. It's not a must you be present. Just put that land into proper use. You can try irrigation. Just plant some crops. That's it.
Yes.
And it's very important for you just to gain that and build that trust, because trust is earned and it's built at the same time. So we are looking at some of the challenges, and we've seen is ownership of land. And what we've learned is that Kitambo, ownership of land was very hard, but now it's very possible for a woman to own land. And it's normal. There's no such a big thing of a woman owning land. Access to finances, Kitambo was commonly used barter trade, because that was a form of trade. I give you maize, you give me beans, I give you maybe some cereals, and you give me maybe avocados. That's how things used to work. But now women are actually facing this challenge of actually getting finances to even finance them. It's very hard. That's why they have to depend on themselves. And if they just have to give. It's very rare for a woman to work in the bank and be given finances, and it's very even harder for a man to walk into the bank and be given finances. Women are the one who have been given the higher priority because women fear debts, so the bank believes that women settling debts will be much easier than a man because they really fear debts.
And you know, in the ancient time, you had to go, you could not go to a bank as a woman. Aye.
You couldn't go?
To do what?
To withdraw money.
What money?
That you've earned.
Where?
From your child.
When? Wapi?
You couldn't go and actually withdraw money.
Yes.
You could.
What money? What money are you withdrawing? Umetoa wapi pesa?
Where have you get the money from?
Yes, exactly. And
you would be answerable to some very weird questions.
Yes, and if your husband had said, because we had open-minded people then, if your husband had kept a bank account for you, he had to go with you
the bank to see how much withdrawing and why and for what purposes.
Not even that. He had to sign, because when you go to the bank tell him I need money, anakuuliza wewe ni nani?
Why do you want money?
Where do you have an account?
And why are you like
Exactly.
help us understand why you need money.
Anataka kuconfirm you're not stealing from your husband. So your husband has to be there and sign it and say, yes, give this woman this money. I have signed.
You see,
Nani atapewa akupatie.
things were really tough for women back then, like really
Yes,
tough
yes.
and tiresome and hectic, but they managed. That's why we actually do celebrate those women who
Who
are in
made
this
it.
journey and motivated those people who are in this journey currently to actually think that they can do it and own land and stand for themselves and say, you know what, I can be able to buy my own land.
Yes.
Yes, and it's very, very important. So, we're discussing on some of an ancient woman and a modern woman in the field of agriculture. And as we've just seen, challenges are almost the same. It's just similar. Just that now the modern woman has some freedom, kidogo, they can buy land, there's access to finances. Actually, they get the upper hand in getting finances. The education and training, they can take themselves. They can even we have these women groups in the society. We have these chamas where they actually train themselves and motivate themselves that they can actually do it and they can actually be able to do it. And it's very, very important. And looking at an ancient woman, they faced more challenges than a modern woman currently.
Yes.
Even in matters of even employment. Even if they were employed, their wages were little compared to
Yes.
yeah, they were very little what they were being paid, because you know they think that you're not strong even if you just plowed the same size as someone else who's a man. You are still being paid less. But women still choose to stand still and continue this journey, and that's why we actually do appreciate you every single day. I think that's all we had for the differences between an ancient and a modern woman in the field of agriculture. I think it's really...
I think I have another point, the political one. A long time ago...
In matters of making decisions
yes.
now, but politically.
Yes. We didn't even have women. Women in politics.
In politics now,
Yes.
some of there were cabinets
Yes.
and groups, village elders. Yes.
Women were not there. Women were not allowed. Only in some communities where women maybe could lead, especially in African countries. But if you go outside African countries, most women were not there in politics. Yes. So now, right now we even have ministers, women, and in the field of agriculture,
Women presidents.
yes, in the field of agriculture, there are so many. There are CSCs or CEs, something of the sort.
CEs.
Yes, there are so many. Like Wakajedo, it's a woman. Yes. Her name is running away, but yes, that is an example of women making decisions.
Making decisions in the field of agriculture, and
yes.
also empowering other women.
Yes.
In this field.
Yes.
The other day I was talking to the farmer on fire. She's a very young woman, but
Hey.
you can imagine how she's doing in this field. She's
Hey.
doing perfectly well. She's empowering women out here. She's just doing an amazing job, and we'll invite her one day to the studio.
Yes.
And she actually tells us her story. And if you get to listen to her story, it's amazing.
I had her talking about her story, and I was shocked, and I was amazed at the same time, because she has gone through a lot. Let me say a lot, and she left a very good and a stable job to get into the field of farming.
Of farming, and
Yes.
she's doing quite
She's
good.
doing marvelously.
She's just out here outstanding
Hey,
in whatever
Madam,
she's doing.
kudos.
You're going to get her one day, and so as she can tell us her story, which is
Yes.
a very interesting story.
Yes,
We
yes,
also
yes.
get to learn from these women. And as I said before, we might be celebrating women, but you as well as a man out there, you can actually help us celebrate these women. Every single day we do celebrate you. So we're just looking today to say what are the difference, what are the improvements, and where are we currently, and what should we do more so that we can be there somewhere that we look at and being like, by the way, tumetoka mbali mali tumefika, we just coming from far. And it's really important we get to look at the modern and the ancient form of agriculture, and now the modern and the ancient woman in the field of agriculture. It's almost similar, but at least we are happy that there's growth that is being done. The growth is gradual, yes, and change is inevitable, but the growth is good because the steps that we've made, they are actually big steps.
Yes.
Very big steps.
Very big
The fact
steps.
that a woman can own land right now, it's
Yes.
very, very big step. The fact that a woman can make their own financial decision and walk into a bank and get help in financing their agricultural
Yes.
business, then
Yes.
it's actually a very big growth, and it's very, very, very important. Yeah, I don't know, John, if you have any last thing based on what we were discussing on the topic.
I would just say, women actually have a very big and a very important role in everything that happens, especially in food security, because it's the woman who understands the feeding of the baby from the beginning.
From the beginning, yes.
From the beginning. So they understand that this
Better.
person, yes,
They understand that this person at this age, they will need food, and if food is not produced enough, trust me, my generation will be suffering.
exactly. So I also feel like we have been given power, and yes, we might need more power, but then we already have power right now. And if we maximize on this power that we have, we're going to do great things by the end of the day. And we should not stop. We should not get tired. We should not, if the people before us got tired, what would we be saying right now? We would not be having this space.
This space, yes.
Yes.
It's
We're not,
important.
actually, we have a very good space.
Right now,
Yes. If we have information, we are giving people information, and we have a place we can train for the information.
For the information, yes. And
Yes.
actually ensure that the information actually comes out and comes to pass. That's the most important thing.
Yes. So basically, we have enough power right now. Yes, we are striving to have more, but let us utilize the one that we have. If you can acquire land, get into farming, even if you will not be the one doing the farming.
And the most
itself.
important thing is, if you are in a position to empower other women, please do so.
Yes.
It's important because we all will grow.
Yes.
Yes.
So basically, we have power, because considering what other women had
Tambo.
way before, it's a lot, and I think most women do not know how to use it, because we are still in the same mindset of
Fear and everything that has
yes.
been installed in us. That,
Yes.
oh, how will
Yes.
the community take me and
yes,
everything.
and
Yes.
basically the notion of the man is the provider. I should sit down,
And wait for
wait
make decisions and let my man be a man.
yes, and your man has a very big piece of land, which is
That is just not being used.
yes, which is not being used. If you are capable of, especially the stay-at-home moms, if you have the opportunity and the
even-
capital to start your own
Even start
business,
small.
yes, hata kama ni kuku utaweka hapo, like get maybe 50 chicks and try them out. Get maybe 2 goats or maybe 1 cow and start it. Because your husband has maybe this land yenye unaweza grow fodder
for these goats
Yes.
or even cows.
Yes.
Than just sitting and
Than
waiting
sit-
time
yes.
to pass. Yes.
and your husband is capable, or maybe you are capable of getting the capital to do it. Just start it. Just start it, because we are heading. If you listen to Farm Drive with Noah and Brian Mwenda, they were saying maybe in the next 6 months we are going to have an issue.
With food. That's
Yes.
true. Food is going to be very, very expensive.
If the war continues in the next 6 months, because right now it's a planting season in Ukraine, and they are not planting.
Just a quarter of wheat that is produced in the world globally comes from Ukraine.
Yes.
30% of I think 30% of fertilizer is manufactured in the Ukraine.
Yes. So basically, if you can get your granaries full, with cereals, please get them full.
Yes. It's important.
Yes. So usikae nyumbani ukisema your husband
Things
is
will get
going to
better,
work.
is going to provide.
Yes, he will have money, but then where is he buying food?
That's really important, and also
Yes.
important for us as women to actually look at that.
Yes.
And before the show ended, we told that you're going to tell you the women that we do celebrate. Johnny, you'll go first because time we are almost being chased out of the studio.
I have many, but I would like to appreciate my grandma. Yes, she was that woman. you know, my granddad was a police officer. So basically my grandma held the whole family. Yes. Maybe my granddad would bring a cow, but then how to maintain that cow, to sustain that cow,
up to your grandmother.
to grow the herd was on my grandma, and she did it, and she had coffee, and she had 10 kids.
And she managed.
And she had maize, she had to grow fodder for the cows, the whole thing, and she managed. And I feel like if we adopted that, not basically because maybe our husbands are not at home, or maybe because you're alone at home. No, basically, you need to do it. You need to do it. Even if your husband is a millionaire and he can give you everything, make sure
do your own thing, small thing.
Yes, and especially in the field of agriculture, you might not have millions and millions through farming and agriculture, but then have your own sustainability as a family. You don't need to go to other places to get
whatever you need.
To get whatever you need. Basically, if you hear my parents talking about the stories of how they grew up, they will tell you we never got hungry, but what we were eating.
That's what's now.
Because there was a lot of maize
Yes.
and little beans, so there was a ratio of maybe 3-to-1 or maybe 4-to-1. Yes.
Yes, thank you.
But they had food.
Yes.
Kama ni ngwashe they were eating, they had food. Kama ni ndoma they were mixing with kideri, it was there.
Yes.
Because this woman made sure that they had food. Yes, so basically, my grandma, you're that woman.
Yes, for me, I don't have much, but just mention them. Just my grandma and my mom. Those are my strong women that I'll keep on celebrating each and every single day.
Wait, we were talking about even outside of agriculture.
No. We'll talk that on another day because time is not our
But
side.
also my mom
But in
is
the field
there.
of agriculture, that's my mom and my grandma. They were my strong women. Those are some of the people that I actually do celebrate in my life.
Yes.
So thank you so much for tuning in. We are sad that the show has come to an end, but thank you so much for tuning in. You can watch our previous show on all our social media platforms. Share this information widely. Share the links to anyone who is interested. You might not know who this information might be beneficial to.
Yes.
So because time is not on our side, we want to leave you, but just stick around for Shajara and also Farm Drive that will be coming on in the afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning in. We love you and we celebrate all the women, and we actually celebrate all of you, and we also do love you a lot. We'll see you next time, same place, same time. Bye-bye.
Bye.